Hey everybody, it's me, your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete, and this is my series, Nails in a Coffin, where we learn that with great kills, there must also come great nails. When this video goes up, we have just 12 days left until Halloween. What are your plans for Halloween? You gonna go see a movie? You gonna watch some movies at home? Go trick-or-treating? Hand out candy? What are you guys gonna do? Like to know in the comments down below. Well, you read the title of this video, so yes, I'm gonna be putting some nails in a coffin in 2018's Hellfest. I like this movie. I thought it was pretty well done. The villain, known as the Other, had a pretty decent look to him. And, you cast the characters. They were all the common tropes you see in horror movies, but I really didn't hate any of them. If you haven't seen Hellfest, just know there will be spoilers in this video. And if you're new here, what I do on Nails in a Coffin is I rate the on-screen kills in horror movies. And I talk about the victim's decisions, and I rate them on a scale of 1 nail in a coffin to 4 nails in a coffin. So if they do something really stupid, like running upstairs instead of running outside, or they just stand there and scream and not do anything, they're going to get less nails in a coffin, like 1 nail in a coffin. But if the victim fights hard, they don't run upstairs, they run outside, they try and fight, or they sacrifice themselves to save others, they're going to get more nails in a coffin. So the smarter the victim is, the more nails they're going to get. Hellfest, it's about a group of friends that visit a haunted attraction, only to slowly be picked off by a mysterious killer. It's not a bad plan on the killer's part because he's pretty much hiding in plain sight throughout this film. So the movie starts with the young woman, Jody, who is at a haunted attraction and she became separated from her group. She's confronted by the masked man, the Other, and she recognizes him as the person who's been following her the entire night. He walks up to her and she's saying, "Okay, I'm scared, please stop, please stop." Then the Other just stabs her in the gut with a knife, and then later on he hangs her body in the maze, making it look like it was going to blend in with the other props, and then he pretty much just leaves. So this was the first death in Hellfest, and I'm going to give Jody 2 nails in a coffin. She was in a haunted maze, so she knew there would be people out there just to scare her and make her feel uncomfortable. The Other was slowly approaching her, and she even said she was scared, and I can't blame her for not knowing there was a real chance of danger that she would actually get stabbed. It was kind of like the wrong place at the wrong time for Jody. She was telling the guy to back off. She's scared, but she was killed, and yeah, she really didn't have much of a choice here. So for the first kill in this movie, I'm going to give Jody 2 nails in the coffin. Natalie and her group of friends all visit a haunted attraction called Hellfest. At the same time, the Other arrives at this haunted attraction, and he notices a young woman, Brittany, insulting one of the workers at the amusement park. He bumps into her, and she's pretty much a bitch to him as well, so he chooses to target her, and he steals an ice pick from a worker making snow cones. Short while later, Natalie and her friends are going through the maze, and they run into Brittany, and she says, "Hey, there's a man after her," and she hides underneath the curtain. The Other shows up, and Natalie's pretty much not scared right now, and she thinks this is all part of the show, so she tells the Other where Brittany is hiding. He goes over to her, pulls her from underneath the curtain where she's hiding, holds her down, and stabs her in the chest, killing her. Brittany, I'm going to give her 1 nail in the coffin because she didn't know how to communicate with people. She could have yelled, "Hey, this is not part of the show. This is real. Please help me. I'm in real danger." But she just was like pleading for her life. But that would make somebody believe it was all part of the show. Like I said, she should have said, "This is real. This is not part of the show. He's really trying to kill me." But she just didn't really do any of that. So she kind of had the chance to get away. Why she hid underneath the curtain like that didn't make any sense. She should have stayed with people where, she had numbers on her side. But she didn't do anything like that. She was stupid. So, Brittany, she's going to get 1 nail in the coffin. Gavin is next up on the chopping block. He was trying to impress Natalie and wanted to win her a prize from the park. However, his plan was actually to steal a prize from one of the employee lockers. Gavin is doing this. He opens a locker, takes out one of the prizes, and then he's cornered by the Other, who at first is just standing there, and Gavin tries to walk away. He's attacked by the Other, knocked down to the ground, and Gavin is crawling away, and he places his head on the base of a strike pad, so the Other just proceeds to raise the hammer up, the mallet, and smash him on the head, killing him. Gavin earned himself 1 nail in the coffin. He chose to steal something, put him in an area where no one else would be around, and when he was threatened, he kind of just played it off, and when he was struck the first time, he didn't even try and defend himself. He crawled away, and he placed his head on the strike plate of one of those strength testers. He didn't, try and cover up or do anything. He kind of shimmied over and placed his head on it. And when the Other raised the mallet over his head, he didn't put his arms up, try and move, or do anything. He just stayed there as the mallet came down, crashing on his head, killing him. That's stupid, and that's going to get Gavin one nail in the coffin. This group of friends are now at another section of mazes at the park. Asher gets separated from the group, and he's all by himself in this dark room with only a flashlight. He's looking around, and then, as he's moving the flashlight around, there's the other. The other immediately attacks him and throws him down to the floor. The other then pulls a syringe out of his pocket with his right arm, and his left arm is right underneath Asher's chin, right by his throat, choking him. Oh, the other takes the syringe, he just plunges it down into Asher's eye, killing him in a really painful manner. So I had to look at this kill a few times, but I'm going to give Asher one nail in the coffin. It doesn't seem like any of the victims so far in this movie have any type of survival instinct. None of them really go so far as to appear to struggle or attempt to get away. I think Asher's right arm was pinned down by the other's knee, and he was trying to stop him from plunging the syringe down with his other hand, but it doesn't seem like he was really trying with all his strength to, not get the syringe in his eye. And plus, where the other's hand was around his throat, he probably could have dropped his jaw down and bite his hand, do something. He kind of really didn't struggle that much. He didn't fight like his life depended on it. So in this case, I'm going to give Asher one nail in the coffin. Taylor, she was my favorite character in this movie. She volunteered to be part of a beheading in front of a live audience via guillotine. As part of the show, the main stage performer, played by legend Tony Todd, and his fellow employee, known as the Executioner, they restrained Taylor into the guillotine. The blade from the guillotine is dropped and beheads Taylor, though it's clearly all for show, and Taylor's actually shown to be fine. The curtains close, leaving Taylor alone, restrained with the Executioner. The Executioner forcibly restrains Taylor even more and leaves her neck exposed. He drops the guillotine blade down on her neck, but it only lacerates the back of her neck because it's a dull blade. And she's actually able to undo her restraint and escape while the other was trying to unjam the level because he wanted to drop the blade again. She's running through the crowd of park goers trying to get away. The other's chasing her. One of the park goers stops Taylor, probably thinking that she and the other are all part of the show. He stops her, shoves her into the other's grasp, who slashes her on the cheek with a knife before stabbing her in the gut, killing her. Taylor was my favorite character in the entire movie. She was the most entertaining by far. And I'm going to award her with 2 nails in a coffin. I like how she was able to get out of her restraints and take off running for the exit. She was only stopped in her escape by some mouth breather who shoved her back towards the other. He was then able to slash at her and then stab her in the gut. Once that park goer stopped her, she could have tried to push by him and keep on running, call for help, but she kind of just froze. She had a little bit of time, so that's why I'm not going to give her 3 nails in a coffin, but I did like how she was able to get out of her restraints and take off running, so she definitely doesn't deserve 1 nail in a coffin. So, looking at all the criteria, I'm going to go down the middle and give Taylor 2 nails in the coffin. Right as Taylor was getting stabbed, Quinn, her buddy, he confronts the other, but he's stabbed in the gut and then once in the heart. This is the final death in the movie, and I'm going to give Quinn 2 nails in a coffin. He knew his friend was in trouble, and he wanted to go help her. He didn't fall into the trap like, hey, maybe it's all part of the show. He ran after the other, but unfortunately, he still ran into the guy's knife as well. But he did try and help his girl, so I'm going to give him props for that. He wasn't given much of a chance to prevent his death because he ran into the knife. But I think I'm going to go down the middle here and get the final death in this movie 2 nails in the coffin. Brooke and Natalie are in the final, most intense part of the maze titled Hell. The girls become trapped, and after the other follows them in and locks them inside. The girls become separated, and the other corners Brooke, and he's slowly stalking her. Natalie appears from nowhere, finds them, and stabs the other. While he's incapacitated, Natalie and Brooke make it to the exit where the police are waiting. The girls later on learn that the other had escaped, and then we later on see his car pull into a suburban house. We know he's driving it, and he locks his mask in a cabinet with a bunch of other masks. He then walks into a living room of a house where he sees a young girl sleeping. The girl awakens and gleefully greets the man as daddy. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are all my nails in a coffin for Hellfest. Here's a summary of all the nails I've awarded. Well, I liked this movie. I thought it was okay. Nothing special about it, but it wasn't too bad as well. It was a decent Halloween slasher for the season. Now, if you notice, I tried something new this week with the stuff behind me. I don't know if I'm going to do it every week. I just kind of wanted to experiment. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. And if you can please do me a favor, please like, comment, and subscribe. I upload at least 1 Nails in a Coffin video every week. And in November, I'm starting up my horror movie superlative series again with my buddy Carl Cook. So check those out. I appreciate you guys. Have a fun, happy, safe Halloween, and I'll see you on Friday for my next episode of Nails in a Coffin. Thanks a lot, everybody. I am your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete, and remember, with great kills, there must also come great nails.